You guys already know. You guys already know. So let's do our toast. So if you are new to this channel, put us on pause and definitely go get your beverage of choice. If you are part of the family, you already know. On a count of three, we're about to do our toast. 1, 2, 3.
No, I've been no fan of heroes, but even I can't deny the good that you've done. Work with me, Sam. The country needs Captain America.
The world is on the brink of war. It's my job to fix it. What if it's a trap? Stand by for proof of that. Somebody is pulling the strings on everything. Captain America. You don't even know what this is. You want me? Come and get me!
Tell me I don't make your old gear look brand new.
Who's saying that?
Wait a minute. I was thinking that was a trailer that I've seen, but I haven't seen that last little bit in it before. Okay.
That's a brand new special look that they just put out a few days ago. So, yeah, 4 days ago that came out. So, yeah, we have a new Falcon that you hear him talking. But to be fair, he was in the Falcon in the Winter Soldier show. You saw him, he was working with Sam during that. So you got to see him a bit, but now he actually has, he's got himself the old gear that was being used by Sam as the Falcon before. So it's a lot of fun. I'm cautiously optimistic. I want to be careful because obviously at this point, I've been hurt by Marvel a few times. Not horrible, just a light little slap on the wrist. But I mean, the main heart of it is that they put out some movies that were not up to the high standards that they established. But I think that they've hit a turning point, and I think that this could be really good and interesting, leading up to some interesting concepts that I have a very large feeling that we're going to be seeing in that movie. That movie is going to have, at bare minimum, some big time aspects that it's going to be bringing to the world officially.
Are you crying?
I'm not crying. I'm holding back a bit to see.
Don't hold back. This is a reaction. Don't hold back. Let it all out, boo boo. Let it out.
It's not. This part isn't a reaction. This part is discussing what I think is.
It's all a reaction. That's how your thoughts is.
Okay, all right. Let's get into that then with Captain America: Brave New World. I am hearing some rumblings in the interwebs of. I mentioned this before, Tama, the Celestial that came out of the ocean during Eternals is going to bring a new resource into the MCU. I think it's going to be responsible for adamantium, the metal that's in Wolverine's skeleton, being officially brought into the MCU. So that alone
deserves a toast. Deserves one.
Cheers. So
interesting.
That on top of the fact that they are bringing in, they keep showing him in the shadows, but not showing him. But who I believe the true villain of this movie is a callback to the Incredible Hulk movie with Edward Norton before Avengers came out. Obviously, seeing Giancarlo Esposito in there as a villain as well. And then for me, in my little nerd heart, since I'm a wrestling fan, there's a possibility that one of the wrestlers in WWE right now might be in that movie too, to a certain extent. So there's a lot of things that I'm excited about for this movie. at bare minimum will be a popcorn flick, just to be able to see some of the air acrobatics that are done by Cap, the new Cap, and his new Falcon, and then seeing some of the stuff like him cut through a freaking car with his wings.
Oh my god, I didn't see that. Did they show you that in this trailer just now?
Yeah.
Because
Oh, I must have been dazed out because when I did the trailer and I saw that, then my mind went crazy. I don't know why I didn't see that right then and there. But I have two questions for you. Number one is, when we first did the original first trailer reaction months ago, and I didn't put together, and we talked about whatever. I didn't realize that. Am I saying his name? Is it Isaiah?
Isaiah Bradley?
Yeah, I didn't realize that he was the original Captain America, right? The first Captain America. So when they showed you the trailer and they showed you him going after the president, I didn't think about like, oh my God, that's like a whole Hydra thing that they messed with his head to go and do that. He didn't remember that. Like I didn't put those two together until I ended up doing the second trailer, and I was like, oh my God, and I ended up talking about that. So that is interesting. Did you put it together when you first saw it?
Oh yeah, I knew that was Isaiah as soon as. I mean, if you pay close attention, that's what's difficult with some of these like reaction things. You have to rewatch the trailer afterwards, because once you have the initial like wow factor, you realize that you missed certain things because you see him say Isaiah during it, and you're like, and if you didn't know, like if you missed it or something like that, him saying Isaiah is clicks things together in your head. So I mean, yeah, I knew when I watched it, and I was like, oh, they're doing a little Winter Soldier-y thing here where he's being activated and attacking the president. Like, what is up with this? What is happening here? So
you and I have to find trailers that we have not seen that we watched together to hear both of our reaction up front. Yeah, I picked up that one after I was editing, and I was like, oh my God, that's him. We didn't talk about it, and I don't think you had brought it up to me, and you had said it. My second comment, I'm wondering. Oh, you want to respond to that first?
No. Go ahead. I'm just preparing.
The second comment I'm wondering is that, okay, so Winter Soldiers, when we saw it, I felt like it was like, it took me out of the superhero kind of thing. It brought me more into reality, right? And when I watch movies, especially superhero movies, I want to watch superhero movies, right? I want to live in a fantasy. And I don't necessarily want to have those two crossed, because it's a little weird for me. So I'm wondering, and what your thoughts are, because from what I'm seeing, it looks like, which I'm glad that they did Super Soldier to kind of get you prepared for it, but I have a feeling that this is not going to stay in a superhero fantasy world. Like it's going to bring, especially with you saying that they're going to find the new material, like I have a feeling like it's going to come to the real world, the reality world, and take you away from the superhero.
I think that, all right, so first of all, I want to acknowledge something. I thought it when I first saw it, and it's still to this day, I believe, is one of the best superhero movies ever made. Captain America Winter Soldier is one of the best movies that have been put out in the comic book genre. And it's because you have these superhero characters that you've grown to love over these previous movies, and you see it in this vein of a real life issue where you see, something so hard that Cap fought for, trying to keep Hydra at bay, and then realize that like he didn't do anything. Like it just was, they were in hiding, and now they've decided this is their time to come up. And like the political espionage thriller was an interesting take on it, because that's one of the things I love about comic book movies, is that they allow these different genres to come into play here. You get your comedy acts, you get your heist movies, and then that espionage style movie I loved it. Just off of Chris Evans and how he played it, the introduction of Bucky coming back as Winter Soldier, even Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury in that, like seeing those different things of him doing, and the thing that's interesting is that type of movie makes you feel that you are closer to some of these crazier environments that you see in these superhero movies, because it's not anything that's too far-fetched. Something like Brave New World kind of combines both, because you're getting this sense of an espionage thriller, but then you also have a lot of crazy visual effects with flying fights. You have Hulks, you have adamantium, you have these elements to your classic comic book style movie, on top of the fact that you're getting some espionage thriller in there with somebody working in the background, kind of puppeteering all these different things happening. And that's, what I loved about Winter Soldier was the fact that you had, all of this playing in the background, Hydra coming up, and you had to see, the actual good members of S.H.I.E.L.D. band together to try to stop a horrible thing from happening. And you take that similar thought process and then take it to Civil War, which again, you have a shadow figure in the background messing with the superheroes, pinning them against each other for their own reasoning. And now you have in Brave New World this other shadow figure who is doing all this different stuff in the background, which we're just seeing the tip of the iceberg right now. And they're talking about a world that's almost like on the brink of world war over, some new stuff that's involved, which my guess is going to be this new, vibranium is obviously such a big aspect of these Marvel movies with what Wakanda was able to do with vibranium. So if you get a metal alloy that has, some resemblance to vibranium that is adamantium, people are going to fight over it. Different countries are going to fight over it. And then you're going to have these shadow players in the background trying to puppeteer everything so that they can end up on top because there's an opportunity for it. And that is the type of like espionage thriller that I love to see. That's why I'm really excited about this.
And I guess that's what it is. Like,
You call it an espionage thriller, and it's not a superhero movie anymore to me. I guess, like, I like if the movie's done well, it's done well, and that's that. Like, I definitely love Civil War, like you said, Winter Soldier. But I think that if I go in for one movie, I kind of want that. I want the superhero. I don't want espionage when I'm supposed to be superhero. Again, I'm going back and forth. Like I said, if it's done well, it's done well, and that's that. But talking about that, I have a feeling that the Red Hulk is not the bad guy. I have a feeling that, and I want to know your thought about that, because as I watched the second trailer and I'm hearing what they're saying, I think that the first time we thought, oh, he's the bad guy and he's going to be fighting Captain America and something, this and that. But I think that he's a puppet as well. And I have a feeling like we don't know who the bad guy is quite yet. And that's going to be like the big thing, the big hidden thing. That's my thought. You let me know where your mind is going with that.
No, I 100% agree. I do not think that Red Hulk is going to be the main villain of this. I think Red Hulk is going to be not innocent, but a bystander of another threat that activates it in order to try to use it as a contingency plan to keep Captain America and Falcon at bay. So it's one of those situations. I mean, I've said it before. I'll mention it again. I truly believe that the figure in the background that they keep showing the shadow of, like lurking in the shadows, is Leader from the first Incredible Hulk movie from the MCU with Ed Norton, the one scientist that helped him, quote unquote, cure himself at the end of that movie, although it didn't really work. I believe that he has access to Hulk blood. He has great smarts behind him, and now he's going to use that to try to make either money or whatever his supervillain heart desires. But regardless, I think that is a person who's in the background puppeteering all of this stuff because he has a superhuman intellect that he's using to mess with everybody.
Okay. Excited about that. So, on that note, I hope you guys enjoyed the trailer. I'm going to see you on the next episode. Bye.